G'day everybody, welcome to Greens and Gains. Come and join me and my mate Lee. I'm a physio, 3-part wizard and golf addict. And Lee is a PGA pro, a rugby league degenerate and an absolute freak on the golf course. Greens and Gains is two blokes having a chat about how to improve your golf game and feel better about yourself. Why don't you come and join the fun?
Well, hello everybody. Monday morning, so it's another episode of the pod, Greens and Gains, with Lee Hunt and Tom de Jersey. G'day, Tom. How are you, mate?
Welcome back. Episode 7. How good is this?
That's amazing, episode 7. I know I said this every week, but we're going okay. We'll have to have a party when we get to 10. Hope everybody had a great week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we continue to be surprised with how long this thing's gone on for and the momentum it's gaining. It's wildly out of control, and I don't know how to make it stop.
It's happening.
It's happening. Now, before we kick off, before we get started, a quick word from our major sponsor, Arccos Golf. So, Arccos Golf, they are Australia's leading network of pro shops. They offer an extensive range of golf equipment, including clubs, balls, apparel, and accessories from all of the major brands. Plus, you can search for lessons and clinics from qualified PGA pros and club fitting events in your local area. With 80 sellers nationwide, the Arccos site offers a wide selection to meet all of your golfing needs. They're a little bit different to your normal online golf retailers. When buying from Arccos, you're not purchasing from a giant warehouse or a shop on the high street.
That's right, Tommy. You're actually buying directly from the team who know the game better than anyone. PGA professionals and their local club pro shops. You can conveniently shop online with options for home delivery or click and collect. Check out the Arccos Golf website, www.encoursegolf.com.au. Thank you very much.
Thanks to Arccos. Thank you for your support. We love it, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, Lee, straight into things this week. I need you to help me. I have some questions.
Okay.
Well, I have some questions, but also a listener sent this question in. Nathan. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your support. Nathan wants to know, should he be practicing and playing with the same golf ball? For example, should it be the same brand and model? And how important is this? Now, I have strong feelings on this. I don't actually know why I feel that way. What do you think, Lee?
So, I think it's really important to practice with the same equipment that you're actually going to play with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you wouldn't practice with a putter that's not yours and then use a different putter on your comp day or a different driver or a different set of irons. The golf ball is the most important club in your bag. Why is it the most important club in your bag? It's the one you hit every shot. So practicing with the same type of golf ball you use is so important. The feel. They fly different, they go higher, some go lower, they stop different on the green. So just using a ball, just because they're cheap and you bought them from the bargain bin to practice with, save up all your old golf balls that you use. I don't really even mind what golf ball you use, as long as the golf ball you use on the golf course is the same one as you practice with. I think it's really, really important, and I think it's something that's overlooked, Tommy. I shudder when I go out to the chipping green and see people practicing with rocks, or they're practicing, practice with stuff you're actually going to use.
Sanded down bits of gravel from the car park.
Yeah, just because it's cheap and they found it in the bush.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can vouch for this. I think my understanding of what my ball was going to do when I'm chipping and pitching and putting changed when I started playing around with a golf ball and, God forbid it makes it through the round or it comes in after 9 holes or 18 holes, it's a bit scratched up. You finish the round and you got that ball with you in the front of my bag in that light practice ball zone. And now I think I understand what the ball's going to feel like, what that first bounce might do. And maybe when you're chipping and pitching, different balls kind of come out at different heights. I think I know what window I'm expecting it to come out of as well, which maybe helps me visualize a bit better.
Yeah, totally. And then we spoke about this at length about feel is sound.
Yeah.
Now, for those people who are listening, go and get 4 different golf balls or 5 different golf balls out of your bag and just drop them on the concrete and close your eyes and you listen to the difference in sound. So that's feel. It's just, and then the whole thing, I want to be more consistent. Well, if you want to be more consistent, practice with the stuff you're actually going to play with. Don't practice with, just practice with the stuff you play with.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
I was so not sold on sound as feel. You said that to me during a fitting process maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I was like, yeah, sure, mate, whatever. Sound is feel. You've completely blown my tiny little golfing brain. We were hitting some clubs this week on the YouTube channel for those interested. They sounded great, and everything about that club was it just felt so money in my hands, so cash. And I think a large part of why they felt so good was because of the sound, because of the feel, which was actually a lot to do with how they sounded.
Acoustics are really important. Companies spend a lot of money on R&D trying to develop their clubs to have the right acoustic, to have the right feel for golfers. So
I love that.
Yeah, they do. They spend a lot of money, and they do a lot of R&D on equipment to make it sound correct to the player. It's super important. So feel is sound, people. Feel is sound. Just Google it. It's not rocket science. It's just how it is. And so practice with the golf ball you're going to use. Decide what golf ball that is, and just save the golf ball after each round. And then the ones that you don't use, throw them away. Give them to the juniors at your local club, and use a ball that you play with. You'll get better.
I love that.
You'll get better.
I love that. So, Nathan, to answer your question, yes, we like the concept of same brand and same model of golf ball. How important is it? Fairly important. I think particularly if your short game is not good or where you want it to be. Sounds like Lee is saying, use that golf ball. Doesn't have to be brand new, fresh out of the box. Use it for a round or two, put it in the bag, practice with it.
Just practice with it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's what practice is.
Our next thing. I think my most favourite segment. It helps me make decisions about how my future as a golfer might go. Like it, don't like it. Do we like it, do we not? Now this week, I have a contentious one for you. This again has been raised with me by some listeners, and the people, Lee, they're worried about you. There have been several genuine expressions of concern, and maybe even like worry for you. You said recently on a podcast that it's been a long time since you've had a beer on the golf course.
I don't think I've ever had one on the golf course.
I think that they might have been your words. And let me tell you, mate, the boys are worried, my friend. They are worried. Now, I don't know about you. I play early, mate. Like I'm 6, 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. That's not really beer
That's
o'clock, right?
when you turn up, yeah.
My brother-in-law, shout out Blair, I think this is his first mention, he'll be thrilled. When I hit a bad shot, sometimes at 8:30 or something, God forbid it lasts, my first bad shot is that late in the round. If you're playing comp with him, he'll yell your name and you'll turn around and he will have lobbed you a mid-strength beer, for an 8:30, 9 o'clock beer. Fair play, love that. Drinking on the golf course, mate. Do we like it? Do we not like it?
Me personally, as a personal thing, I don't like having a beer on the golf course.
Do you like beer, though?
I love beer, mate. Everybody.
Okay, just checking.
It's beautiful stuff. I do love beer. I cold beer after the round with my playing partners, no problem. But on the golf course, I don't like it personally. I'm not saying people shouldn't drink beer on the golf course.
Yeah.
If you want to perform at your best, do not drink beer on the golf course. Is there a sport in the world where they advise for you to drink alcohol?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but if people struggle a bit with nerves and they need some Dutch courage and have a quick beer or whatever,
Fair play.
I get that.
If you need it to the beer to stop the shakes, where do we? I'm just kidding.
You got other issues if you need a beer. We can't all be like John Daly.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I recently hit a shank and made a double bogey on the 15th tee at Bankstown in front of an esteemed colleague and a big fan of the podcast, who unfortunately recorded said shank. I will put it in. I'll put it in the podcast for you right now. It was not my proudest moment. However, this ties into like it, don't like it, right? Because immediately before this, I had a shot of rum at 8:15 in the morning.
Or for a good cause. This is the
absolutely.
legacy golf day that we run at Bankstown Golf Club. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful course. Yep.
So maybe I have the shanks because I had alcohol on the course. Is that what you're saying?
Bundaberg rum is good for people. If there was one bit of alcohol I would drink on the golf course, I could have a Bundy because it's Cain champagne, mother's milk.
Cain champagne.
It's the best. A nice rum, Cain champagne, mate. Oh,
you are okay.
The bear, square bear.
Like it, don't like it. It sounds like it's really, if you're playing for performance, it's a resounding no. If you're on a bucks trip or you're having a laugh or you're out with mates and it's a mid-afternoon, maybe have a beer.
If you love a beer on the golf course and that's making your day better, bloody do it. You know,
I love it. Oh,
yeah, bloody do it.
I played with a fella 2 weekends ago. Best thing ever. In his MGI buggy, we stopped it halfway at maybe 9 o'clock. In his cup holder, in his MGI buggy, not just a beer, a schooner glass.
That's well played.
He'd gone in, didn't get a bottle, got a schooner glass. Finished
schooner?
it, kept it in the cup holder, took it back to the bar when he was done.
I once played a Pro-Am. I remember this pretty distinctly. I was Bargara Golf Club up in Queensland near Bundy.
Yep.
Playing Troppo, and Troppo is infamous for these sort of stories. But I met this gentleman on the first tee. He came up. He's in a cart. He goes, "Lee, I've got the course record here." I go, "Oh, great. That's going to be a good day."
Yeah, show me around.
24 beers, 36 points. And early doors, he was looking at the course record. He had a lot of beers up his sleeve, and it was a warm day. It got him late.
Bit him. Those back 6 holes were tough.
Yeah, but he drank a lot of beer. I'm not sure how he was still driving a golf cart, but
I love that.
But Troppo, that's what Troppo is, and there's 1,000 of those stories. But yeah, course record, 24 beers, 36 points.
I love that.
Impressive.
So maybe our official statement from the pod is, we don't mind it. We don't like it or not like it. We don't mind it. Handle with care.
Yes.
And maybe not best for performance.
Well, if it is good for performance,
You've got issues.
Maybe I've got it wrong. Yeah.
Imagine what you could have been if you just drank, mate.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the fact that I haven't drunk beer. If I drank beer, maybe I wouldn't be sitting here doing a podcast with you, Tommy. Maybe. No?
Fucking
Yeah, okay.
Fair play.
Enough. Yeah.
All right, on to the next. You've broken my heart. No, where are we going? So the next thing we need to talk about this week is our gear spotlight. This is going to be a weekly segment. What you will now find on the YouTube channel, if you should go and have a look, if you haven't seen it yet, Lee and I hit the P770 TaylorMade P770s and the P7CBs. We pop a couple of different shaft options in them. We have a look at how they perform. And lo and behold, they kind of did exactly what was advertised, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they went well, didn't they? This is going to be a good model for TaylorMade. Really is. They always do a great job, but this is the P770 is always been good, but the new one looks great.
Yeah,
high really launch, good.
Goes a mile, plenty of spin, plenty of control.
And for those golfers out there that love the old rack iron, the TaylorMade rack iron, this is a throwback. The P7MC, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So we were happy with them. That's up on YouTube now. The next thing that is coming...
P7CB.
P7CB, sorry, my mistake.
Sorry. I was looking at my MCs
today. The next thing
today.
that's coming, the next piece of... Oh, you got your MCs?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. It must be nice having a club sponsor, you jerk.
Yes.
Anyway, regardless, the next thing that's coming on the channel is going to be the new Mizuno JPX irons. We got all 3 models. We had a hit of them this week. I was seriously impressed.
They were good, Tommy. They were so bloody good.
So good.
Yeah, they were bloody good. That's all we can say. The hot metal stuff, JPX hot metal. You got to watch this video, the YouTube on this.
Unreal. 3 models.
Yeah.
The JPX Hot Metal High Launch, the JPX Hot Metal, and the JPX Tour. 3 different clubs for a variety of different players. there is a saying. I don't know how much money Mizuno spent on marketing. Everyone keeps saying it's nothing, right? But nothing feels like a Mizuno, and my goodness.
Oh, nothing feels like a Mizuno.
And feel is sound. So maybe nothing sounds like a Mizuno, but far out. They were good, mate.
They were really good, weren't they?
Yep. So that's coming up. Keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube this week. We'll have some information up there. We have all sorts of club data. And we had a bit of fun with them too, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little segment, that. Yeah.
Okay.
They were very, very good.
Now, the next thing I need to talk to you about, my friend, is the segment I like to call What Tommy Saw Online This Week. Because, as you know, I'm prone to doom scrolling. I like to kind of keep my eyes on what's happening on the internet.
You've got way too much time on your hands.
Some people, I like to think of it as work, you know?
For research.
For the podcast.
You're like a 14-year-old child.
Yeah,
on your phone.
Yeah, but with slightly more income.
For those people out there with kids that you can't get them off your devices, Tommy's still the kid.
King of the kids.
Yeah.
No, okay. So what I saw, US amateur. There was a man out there, right? His name is Garrett Engel, and he has the single most unique grip I have ever seen. It's like a split hand baseball grip, but his top hand has like an extended pinky.
It looks like a putter grip.
Yeah, and he's got like negative shaft lean at address. Like his hands are like back in line with his trail leg. I will also throw a clip of this up in the pod video for those of you who watch it on YouTube or on Spotify, or the short clips we post on socials. Lee, what the hell is going on here?
Well, first things first, the guy's obviously hugely talented.
Yeah, fair call.
Hugely talented. And the second thing I want to put out is I don't know who coaches this guy.
Yep.
But the PGA member that coaches him needs a pat on the back because he just didn't go down the cookie cutter style. It obviously works well. They've got a great understanding and he's getting the job done. I just think that's what coaching is about, isn't it? Finding out what works for the individual.
Yeah, totally.
And you know, it's easy to sit there and go, oh, look how bad their grip is, but the golf ball doesn't lie. He hits it pretty well, clearly, to a reasonable level. So he's super talented. I'm going to watch that story. I'm going to see how far he goes because there's been a lot of great-looking golf swings in the world that haven't worked.
Totally.
And a lot of amazing grips that haven't worked. So, well done. Bloody awesome to see. And I'm going to find out who coaches him because that PJ member or that coach, whoever it is, well done. Well done. That's what golf coaching is about, finding the best way for every student. And they're obviously having some success. So, it's definitely different, but there's nothing wrong with different. Nothing wrong with different.
So what I'm hearing is I should change my grip this week.
100% Tommy. We're going to do it next week. Maybe that's why you got the shanks.
YouTube this week, baby.
Maybe it's not the rum you had on that hole. Maybe it's the fact that you haven't got the split hand grip with the finger down the shaft.
Couldn't be the Cain champagne.
Cain champagne.
It's definitely because I didn't have the baseball bat.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, unbelievable.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing is unconventional is not necessarily bad.
There's got to be some sound fundamentals. So obviously the club coming into the ball and the way he delivers the club onto the back of the ball and turns through the ball is really, really sound. So Jim Furyk, imagine if someone got him early on and wanted to try to change his golf swing. The guy's a Hall of Famer. So, there are ways. You've got to be super talented, though. Not all of us are as talented as this guy, obviously.
Okay. I love that. I love that a lot. All right. Now, the next thing we need to go through. This one is one of my favourite parts of the week. And this week is particularly exciting because we've had some feedback, right? And it's pretty funny. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on the podcast, but it's pretty funny. So Jordan, so course management crash course, right? My favourite part. Jordan plays at Strathfield, hole 17. he had a dig this week, and boy, oh boy,
We're having a
boy.
We're having a look at the photos.
Did he make a mess or what?
Oh,
So, let me just find this for you, my friend. Let me just find this. He ended up making, despite all our advice, despite all our help,
what'd he do?
let me tell you what he did, my friend. Let me tell you what he did. So, first things first, we take iron off the tee, right?
Okay.
Not too bad. You know, that's what we pitched as the solution to this problem. And I forgot to mention, I'm getting live texts of this. So I get a photo, pulled the shit out of it. And then I get another photo, and he's just got down to the ball, and this is what he can see. That's his lie. Can you see the ball in the middle of that?
It's not a great lie, but if he hit driver, he's out of bounds.
Oh, totally. Like, it's not good, right?
Okay, not a great lie.
What
do you do from there?
He's got a lot of bush between him and the back of the ball, right? He's
I
up
hope
shit.
he just chipped it down there.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting.
Oh, God.
Sorry, just quickly. The pull also went 14 metres too long, so hot pull. So, like, he's in trouble.
Yep.
And then, out from that lie, we pull 8 iron. Catches a flyer
Yep.
in the hazard on the right.
So he's teed it up. He's put a ball on a little peg. Okay.
Yep.
And he's pulled it into the bush.
Yep.
The ball's covered in grass. So then he pulls the club out and tries to get it on the green.
Yep.
Even though the ball before that he hit off a little peg, off the perfect lie,
Yep.
he couldn't get on the fairway.
Correct.
So is that a dumb shot or a bad shot?
Well, we've talked about this before, and as somebody who's addicted to hitting dumb shots
Yes,
as
you
opposed to
are.
Yes, shots,
Yes, you are.
I can't fault him. I think this is flawless
Now,
strategy.
have a crack, son. Have a
Come
crack.
on, mate.
Yeah,
You've put it
have
here.
a
You
crack.
may as well.
Yeah. Why not compound?
Just quickly, are we calling the 8 iron from that lie a dumb shot or a stupid shot? Sorry, a dumb shot or a bad shot?
He only needs a Makita to get it out of there. Not an 8 iron. Like, that lie is so bad.
Okay, so would you like to hear how the rest of this went?
Yeah. Yep.
Drop. So into the hazard, drop.
Drop.
Two putt double.
Okay, so he hit a bad shot off the tee, but that's okay because we all hit bad shots.
Yeah, and bearing in mind...
Then he hit a dumb one.
Well, bear in mind he has a shot here, right?
Oh, my God. Can't put brains in statues. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, look. Jordan has said to me by text. He goes, I think he said I deserved to be roasted on the pod this week. He says in inverted commas, basically I deserve the abuse on the pod. So he knows this is coming.
Yeah, and yet he still did it.
Well, look, I think everybody licks their chops.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
Okay, so this herein poses like an interesting scenario, right?
Yeah,
We've
this is
tried
how I
to
make a living out of people like Jordan. Anyway, keep going.
So here's my question, I suppose. we're out of position off the tee, right?
Yeah.
And we've come into this going, I'm going to lay up and make par, and obviously things don't always go to plan. So in this situation, we've got a terrible lie. We've left the Makita at home. The ball's sitting down in the shrub. What does Lee Hunt do here?
Well, I couldn't hit a 40-yard fairway off a tee. I'm going to try to just chunk it down there with a wedge. That lie looked so bad. I'm like chunking it down there with a wedge to a distance that I like.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to back my pitching shot in to hit it on the green and make 5 at worst.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, I see the light.
Okay. But thank you for sending the terrible photos in.
Yeah, George, what a ledge. What a legend.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you
Good
so
man.
much for participating.
We do appreciate it because it gives us time to take the piss out of people.
100%. And one of the things I really love about the pod so far is that people are getting around it. They're getting around it so hard. It's awesome. So thanks for being involved, George. I would love to hear how you go this weekend as well.
Don't do it again.
And should you make birdie on this hole, if you hit iron, we're going for beers. Because you
Maybe
still
you
haven't birdied this hole.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to birdie it from that lie.
Were you about to say maybe you should have some Cain champagne on the tee box?
You're definitely not going to birdie it from the water.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next course management crash course scenario, my friend,
Yeah, who we got?
is another Sydney golf course. We
Right.
have Luke. Luke plays at Mona Vale.
Righto. Oh,
This
yes.
is-
Okay.
This is the hole we're dealing with, hole 15.
Yes.
384 metres.
Oh,
We have a tree-lined chute along the left.
I know this hole.
We shoot over like some trouble, cart path, and there's like a little inlet of water onto a fairway with trees on the left and a lot of water. Big pond on the right.
Yeah. Yep.
We have a shot here. It's a hard hole, right? Par 4. Luke's having trouble. He's
So-
having a lot of trouble.
Where does Luke hit his ball? Does he hit in the water all the time?
Let me read you the history of how he has gone so far.
He's got a history.
I've got a history. It is
Luke plays
ex-
off what?
it is extensive. He's like I think 10-ish, maybe a bit better.
Okay.
So like he's handy golfer, right?
Oh, he's a good golfer.
Yeah. So let me read you his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His out of his last 7 scores. Bogey.
That's okay.
Hit.
Does he get a
hit the-
shot on the hole?
Yes. And he hit the
Okay,
fairway
that's-
and missed
that's
the
a
green. Didn't
That's
get
a
up and down.
pass. Doesn't matter. It's a 5 or
Totally.
2.
5 or 2, we'll take it.
Yep.
The next one, double.
Where do you hit it off the tee?
Hazard.
Okay. Richard Marks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next one,
Yeah.
fairway.
Okay, good.
Green with an 8 iron.
Nice.
Makes par.
Okay, he's going okay.
That's right. So 1 bogey, 1 par, 1 double.
He's doing all right.
The next one, bogey.
Yeah, 5 or 2.
Yep. The next one, double.
Where do you hit off the tee?
I think hazard. And then the next two.
He's good for ball sales.
And then the next one, double hazard right, double hazard right.
Okay, so the hazard's got him.
All of these with driver.
Righto.
So he's got. I might have got one wrong there. He's got two-
Right-hander hits a slice.
Yeah, or maybe a push fade or something. But yeah,
Push fade.
I
A
don't know.
push fade, Tom.
I haven't seen it.
You know what, Tom? That's what people who've got a slice say. A push fade. A push fade. Where's a fair dinkum?
So the
Yeah,
key stats.
push
Key
fade.
stats. He's got 2 of 6 fairways. He calls it alive, which is mildly concerning. 3 out of 6 balls have been alive off the tee.
Yep.
And 3 have been hazard. So 50% of the time we're going on the hazard. His scoring average here on a par 4 is 5.33.
Okay, so he's a little bit over his scoring average. And that's all come from hitting it in the water,
Totally.
clearly. So we've got to take that water out of play. So if you're sitting up there, Luke, and all you can think is water off the tee, maybe let's change the tact a little bit. Maybe hit your 3-wood. It's a long hole. So 3-wood's got a little bit more loft. It's going to be easier to not slice or, as Tom would say, push fade. You could hit
Push
your
fade is a valid shot
push.
shape.
I haven't even. Fair dinkum, there's. If there isn't 3 or 4 people who nearly crashed into the car next to him, hearing you say push fade. Oh my god! Where did you hear that? Anyway, push fade. Let's hit something less than driver because you've obviously got the little slice going on, and let's try to hit something with a bit more loft. Maybe the mini driver if you've got a mini driver. A little plug there for Taylor, mate.
If not, www.oncoursegolf.com.
On-course golf, yep.
Yep.
Get down your... or, yeah, I think you've got to try to get rid of that water hazard. So 3-wood, if you've got a 3-wood, because you don't want to leave yourself too far out. And the fact
384, right? So
yeah,
still
it's a
long
big
way
hole.
home.
It's a big hole, yeah.
Well, we're making 5 at worst.
And if that's not helping, just walk up to the pro shop and see Jared Kelly, who I believe is a pro, and he'll be able to give you a lesson.
You're a dog.
Well, golf pros are here to help. And if you've got a problem with a push fade, maybe you need to get yourself a lesson. But yeah, mate, I would hit something that's not going to cut as much if you're worried about the water in the right. And that's not unusual for elite players to do. You want to take one side of the fairway out of play, and if that 3-wood that you can draw easier, takes it out of play, you should hit that off the tee.
Okay. Now I have a question for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
People talk about this, about more loft and
Yeah.
why a 3-wood is easier to draw and things like that. So I hear people say this. I'm not sure I completely understand it. Why would a 3-wood in this scenario not just cut as much as his driver?
So 3-wood has clearly got more loft. So I guess the easiest way to explain this is for those people out there who struggle with the slice or a push fade, and you'll push fade your 4-iron all day or your 3-iron all day, but then when you hit your pitching wedge, you don't hit a cut shot.
Got it.
So that's loft. Loft is your friend.
And why doesn't it cut so much? What's happening to the ball?
So more loft on the club, harder. Like it's a less of a square face, and you're less glancing blow on the ball. So if we can, there's two things that we see when we're club fitting people, and I think most club fitters would agree with this.
Yeah,
people overshaft themselves with too much too little flex, so they all think they should have a stronger shaft than they should, and they all underloft themselves. So people walk in and go, I just get a 9-degree driver. Now, Dustin Johnson, I believe, last year was using a 10.5. The guy swings at 122 miles per hour. So loft is your friend. As long as you can control the spin, loft is your friend. So, and if you don't have enough loft on your club, you'll put a bad move on it, because most of the time, if you're under-lofted, so you've got a driver, for example, that doesn't have enough loft, you'll try naturally to change your body shape, or you'll swing to get it in the air. And most of the time that gets you leaning off it and opening the club face up, and you cut it.
And then you hit push cuts.
Yeah, you hit push cuts.
Or push fades even.
Snap cuts. Yeah. So, get the 3-wood out. I'm not saying being negative about it. Let's get up there and make a good swing with 3-wood, and a little bit more loft will help you there. And it's a long hole, so hitting an iron off the tee is really going to make the hole a lot longer. So let's be positive with the swing, but let's definitely take the right side out of play.
I like what you said the other day. You said you were talking about positivity and like being aggressive and positive at your target, but maybe taking slightly less club, which I quite like.
I think people need to understand that laying up is not being negative.
Yeah, the best swings I've ever made on a par 5 is my layup shot. It always comes out so pure. I don't know what it is.
Well, be positive about the number.
I just think there's no pressure. You just chill out. Brain switches off. Good swing happens.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
One more thing, just while we're here on the course management crash course. I have a friend, Tony, great friend of the show. You haven't met Tony yet, but you're going to love him. It's going to be awesome. When we go to Brisbane, to the motherland on our golf trip, Tony's going to be there. It's going to be unreal.
God's country. God's country.
Yeah.
Yep.
He, I reckon, will probably get around the Cain Champagne with you.
Caxton Street, we'll go to Lang Park. Yep. Love it.
Now, Tony has some concerns. He is he plays off 3 or 4 or something, so like grain of salt, he's pretty good. He's good enough. He's a little worried that the advice you're giving out is laying up. He's taken to calling you lay up Lee. How do you feel about this?
Well, he plays off 3.
Please elaborate.
No, listen. I get that. Please don't think. This is about shooting lower scores, not hitting it past your mate.
Fair.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I'd be positive with the club you pick off the tee, please. And then sometimes, a bit like Bonnie Doon last week, well, you're just going to have to, for the lack of a better word, man up, hit a good tee shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think one of the things you said to me that's rung the most true is I was talking about making a par, and I was like, it's a bit boring, isn't it? And you said, try making 18 of them in a row. That's not boring.
No.
And I was like, you know what? Fair play.
There's a lot of golfers out there that if they just parred the last, they probably would have won something.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Greg Norman.
I'll take it.
Norman to take a par up the... anyway, let's not get into Greg.
Let's not get into that. We don't want to make an enemy of Greg
18
Norman.
pars in the Masters.
He's got too much sway in golf.
Okay,
let's talk about some things. We had an exciting visit this week, didn't we? Exciting meeting.
We had a meeting. Yes, we love meetings. We're becoming very official. Yeah. Oh, hang on. He's changing his cap.
Oh, hey there, mate.
Oh, my God.
Can you?
This, if for people who aren't watching,
If you're listening to this,
but if you're listening,
yeah,
for the record, I had no idea that podcasts could be filmed. But if you're listening in your car, please pull over on the side of the road. This comes back to Tom once again whinged about a product, and guess what happened this week? Tom, what happened this week?
we had 2 hats, 2 towels. So thank you for listening. and
Towels, not stolen from the locker room. Yeah.
Understanding my plight. And 2 links and 2 sets of sensors, 14 sensors each, delivered from Arccos, which is huge.
Team Arccos. Tommy, Team Arccos.
Now, we've given it a go this week. Lee ripped out and played 9 holes the next day. He was so excited. And we've got some exciting things to report back.
Yeah. Listen, firstly, this is the first time I've ever used anything like this. Can I say it was easy to set up, even for someone like me?
This is a man who has yet to fully set up. We're episode 7, and today was the first day you were set up and ready to go with nothing going wrong for the podcast.
And for those out there, yes, thank you for being concerned about me wearing my white earbuds.
We've upgraded.
I've stolen my son's gaming headphones, and he's not happy. But that's okay. He said, Dad, you can't wear them. You can't wear them, Dad. But bugger him. All right?
Bugger him. He's gone.
Yeah.
So thank you for the feedback. How did you go? So you said setup was easy.
Setup was
enjoyed
easy.
Arccos.
Loved it. I had some concerns over swing weight and all that sort of stuff. They were pretty light. I did notice them sticking at the end, and then the putter. But it was excellent. Really easy to set up. The user experience was really, really easy.
Yep.
So well done, Arccos. And like they mapped 1 billion shots. Is that what they told us the other day? 1 billion shots?
My understanding is they have the largest database of golf shots on Earth.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
So that's pretty cool. You just quickly had some criticisms and didn't say anything. One, swing weight. So we're a little bit worried about what the sensor might do to the club's overall swing weight. They are light. You and I, we're going to make a video on Arccos for the YouTube at some point. I've started filming some bits and bobs. We're going to swing weight our clubs with and without the sensor. We're going to address that issue.
I didn't notice when I was on the course. So
Totally. But we're going to have a look at it anyway because it's a question that we've had pop up already.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the clubs look a little longer, and you mentioned something about putter. What did you mean?
So you put it on the end of your putter.
Yeah.
And I'm just not used to having it there. I guess it's for someone who, I just wasn't used to having that sticking out of the top of my putter. I use a 33-inch putter because I'm really, really tall with really long arms.
Of course.
Yeah. But it didn't. The initial thing I thought was going to put me off. It was fine. So the user experience on your phone was phenomenal. So. I don't think it's even allowed, but it was telling me how far it was, and then it was giving me live wind. So it was telling me how far it would actually play into the wind.
That's pretty cool.
I loved it. It was fantastic. So it would give me the yardage, and then it would say it's actually going to play this, going with elevation. There's not a lot of elevation at Bankstown at my club. I just played the new front 9/back 9, and it was. I loved it, mate. It was great.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
And the little dashboard when it finished, and
Totally.
Yeah.
How'd you go stats wise? Was there anything that really stood out?
Okay, so yes. So this is the first game of golf I've had in 3 weeks. First time I touched the club. So
and you played 9 holes, so like grain of salt.
Yeah, I played 9 holes. I didn't hit a fairway.
You brought your A game.
I did. Yeah, I was flushing it. I spent I didn't hit a fairway. Yes, not great, but I will say this: it gave me some strokes gained at the end of it. I shot even par. I had 3 birdies.
Yeah,
didn't hit a fairway, but shot 3. Had 3 birdies. So anyway, we'll figure that out. I was minus 1.9 in strokes gained with driving.
Yeah.
I was plus 3.8 with my approach shots.
Yeah.
So on this day, we played off the plates. For those people who played Bankstown, the 11th hole /second, the long par 3 into the wind. I hit a 4-iron to about 6 feet, made birdie.
Nice.
And did the same on 15/6.
Yeah.
Hit it to a foot with a 5-iron. So that obviously helped my approach game. My short game, I was minus 2.5. So you were saying that's like 75 metres in, Tommy?
Yeah, so maybe 100 or something in. I can check.
100 metres in. I didn't use a laser. And
oh, interesting.
the bit I'm really happy to report for everybody who says I'm a terrible putter.
I did. That's my fault, that narrative.
I was plus 4.2 on my putting. Cue the music. Plus
What sort
4.2.
What sort of music would you like?
I don't know, but it's, cop that. For all those people giving me a hard time about my putting, I was plus 4.2. Sample size very small, disclaimer, only 9 holes. But I loved it, and I'm recommending it to my students, believe it or not. So because
Cool.
they can
That's
send me their
interesting.
data and we can nail down what's going on. So
I love that.
I love it
that a lot.
already. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I had 31 points, and I had 19 on the front, and then the back 9 we had a little bit of a capitulation.
Do you have a beer at halfway?
I had 2.5 bottles of rum of Cain champagne. No, I made a bad triple and then kind of capitulated, and that's okay.
As opposed to a good triple?
Sorry, well, I had a bad hole, which was a triple, and then I turned a bad hole into 5 bad holes. But we live with that. That's fine.
You got over it quickly.
Yeah. I clearly didn't message you in a state of depression, but that's okay. My feedback on Arccos so far. In Australia, in winter, you play a lot of courses where there are temp holes. There was I couldn't at least work out how to change the par of the hole in the app. So there were 2 temp holes. A par 5 became a par 3 and a par 4 became a par 3, and I couldn't modify that. So I don't know how that impacts my stats, which weren't good anyway, but that's just something that I was like, this is annoying. The other problem is I have a weight in the end of I had a weight in the end of my putter, which I was like, I'm sure it just screws out. There's a way to attach weights. So now I have a weight in my hands and not in my putter, and I have no sensor in my putter. So
I believe they do grips, like proper Arccos grips and Superstroke grips and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah. I just what will need to happen now is I'll need to replace the putter grip, which is fine. You've seen it; it's shot to pieces. It's
Ching
had a good
ching.
run.
Bring that into your local Encore Pro Shop, Tom. We'll fix that up for you tomorrow.
$35. www.encourse.com.au.
Please. Yep.
So 2 things. 1, I couldn't modify the course. 2, without the putting sensor, I had to manually input the putts and put where the flag was and stuff. So I will sort that out in the next couple of days and report back next week. My expectation is that if it's not on a course with temp holes, it'll be much easier. If my putter grip is appropriate and not old with a weight in it, I'm sure it'll be better too. So I was gaining half a stroke to driving. I lost 6.1 with my approach, shots to scratch, but I also had 3 penalties with an iron in my hand. So call half of those idiotic penalties. Short game I lost 3, putting I lost 1, and they were called greens. So none of that I'm particularly unhappy
We clearly
with.
needed more of a sample size, but it's pretty good. It's great tech. Oh, if you're into tech and the stats.
I think it's now exciting because I get to go. I'm playing tomorrow and Sunday. I get to go out and try and be better than -6 with my irons as I'm not this bad. Let me prove it to you, listeners and Lee.
The one thing I will say is that I was playing 9 holes. I was having a hit with John Burrow, who's a teaching pro at Bankstown.
Yep.
And we're just having a practice hit, but it made me concentrate a little bit more because
it's going in the stats.
It's the stats matter.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I think for those people who just like playing the game, I think it's definitely will improve, and it'll definitely help coaches help their students improve narrow things down a bit. So
big time.
Yeah.
Now, we have a couple of questions in the mailbag, but we're going to park that to next week because we got very excited in the course management section. So bear with us on that. We will come to those. We've seen your questions. We're kind of building up a bit of a collection of those. We'll get to them. My second favourite segment of the whole week, Lee, buddy, talk to me. What is bothering you this week, my friend?
Oh, Tommy, what's bothering me this week? Well, I will say I did get a photo from a superintendent from where he picked up 45 sand buckets in the car park. So all those people that leave their sand buckets in the car park, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
That's fair.
What don't I like? Okay, so what I don't like every golfer, I haven't met a golfer that likes slow play, but I hate slow play.
Yeah.
When it's so avoidable. It has nothing to do with your ability. Okay, so that's the first thing everybody needs to understand. It's got nothing to do with your ability or your age or how far you hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of hearing it, to be honest. But I don't like it when I see 4 people on the green putting, one person's putting, and the other 3 are not making an attempt to line up their ball to start putting once that person's in the hole or whether they've marked it.
Yeah, okay.
Nice and simple stuff for all
Speed
you
it
golfers
up,
out
boys
there.
and
You don't
girls.
have to
Speed it
rush.
up.
Just line up while other people are playing. Don't sit there. You haven't bought a ticket to the show. You're actually playing golf with each other and you're enjoying each other's conversation, but you're not sitting there watching them play. You got to line up while they're putting. That's what I don't like when people don't do that. And I see that a bit, and I hate slow play because as a head pro of a golf club, all I do is get flogged daily about how slow it is on a golf course, like it's my fault.
That's good advice because you're a good putter this week. So, maybe lining your putts up while your playing partner's doing their putting is good.
Oh,
maybe
my
that's why you
God.
were so good this week.
How about a bit of common sense? Just some common sense. Don't go into the pro shop and whinge about slow play. It's got nothing to do with us.
That's
We
fair.
teed you off on time.
Yeah, that's fair.
You've
That's
got to
fair.
take some responsibility and, no one ever thinks they're slow either. That's the amazing thing. They always blame the group in front.
That's the best part about golf. It's never you. It's somebody else.
Oh, it's that group up there. Oh, yeah, but you're 2 holes behind. Yeah, but we're not holding anybody up. Yeah, okay. That's good. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
I
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I'm eagerly anticipating the one topic. I don't know when it'll come. It'll come. That you just completely derails you, and we see quite an unhinged version of Lee. That's going to be fun.
Well, you've seen it, but it
I
won't
want
come out here on the pod.
The people need to see it. It's coming. It's coming. Give you time. Let you simmer. Something's
Give
going
it
to really
time.
upset you.
Give it time.
All right.
Next
That
week.
is all we have time for today. Quickly, for next week on the pod, what you will see on YouTube, the Mizuno irons are coming. We're going to talk you through the new Callaway irons on the podcast next week. We've had them in hand. We've hit them. We're really excited to tell you more about them. We're going to have some further reports from Arccos. I have questions. Can Lee maintain his current level of putting? Do I need some sort of sports psychologist to help me stop hitting my irons? No, don't answer that. So there is plenty more coming. Thanks for your support. Thanks for engaging with us. I had a beautiful listener send me a tub of shoe polish this week.
Yes, Peter House. With
a handwritten card.
Yeah.
Thank you, Housey. We love that. Please keep listening. Please keep subscribing. Please keep sharing it with your friends, commenting. We have a couple of fun, exciting things in the works. We're talking through a couple of ways that we can play golf together and kind of be involved as a community in person. So stay tuned. Watch this space. Plenty more coming. Thanks
Have a
for
great
listening.
week, everybody. I hope you play some good golf.
See you later.